everybody got a performance of the night bonus tonight instead of fight of the night. Aguilera, Nam, Agapova, and Vittori all won $50,000. So congratulations to them. John Morgan, what do you got for me, buddy?
First night back cage side in the Apex, right? So I'm curious, kind of why you were there tonight. Normally you've been watching in the back, right?
It's the first one. No,
for you, have you been out?
Brett asked me that too.
Yeah,
no.
I thought it was the first time you've been there.
No, I've been watching it out there.
Nice. It was a card that was kind of getting criticized a little bit coming in. I know you don't really listen to the critics much, but it ended up being a great night. I'm just curious.
It always does.
I was gonna say, do you take personal pleasure when it's like maybe you hear people shitting on a card and it ends up being a night like that?
It's just, listen, 20 years. How many bad cards have we had in 20 years? I can count on one hand. Listen, not every fight is for everybody. Don't watch this one. Watch the next one. Don't watch the next three. Watch the one after that. Believe me, we got nothing but fights going on all this summer. So if you don't like it, don't watch it. But everybody's got to jump in there and give their 2 cents and chime in. This card sucks. No cards suck. And if you're a fight fan, you watch all the fights.
Your main event, Cynthia Calvillo, I know somebody you had been high on. She had a couple setbacks. She moves up a division. What did you think about her first performance in the flyweight division?
She looked great tonight. She fought the perfect fight. I think that stand-up looked good. Her ground game looked good. Going into the 5th round, she stood, didn't sit on the stool, had a strong 5th round. She looked good. Her first 5-round fight. And, she looked good.
It's an interesting position because Jessica was the #1 contender. Now, I'm not saying that Cynthia should get a title shot next, but
right.
When somebody comes in to a new division and beats the #1 contender right away, do you consider them to be like in the mix at that point?
Listen, if you beat the #1 contender, look at Gilbert Burns. It just happened to him. When you beat #1, yeah.
Last thing for me, I know you don't like talk about the small cage, big cage difference, but everybody's been loving these fights, and they've been saying it's got to be that cage.
Were the fights in Jacksonville bad?
They weren't.
They were great. It's all an illusion. It's bullshit. It's not true.
Dan, a couple weeks ago when I asked you about there was a lot of backlash on the bonuses. Did you put a video out asking fans to pick?
Yeah, so I came in here last week, and you guys were like, people are bitching about the thing, and then I said, who agreed with me? So I was sitting there thinking tonight, you know what? I'm going to let the fans and the media chime in before I get in the 10. So, yeah, and Eric ran what'd you do? You ran the numbers on it to see what the fans and whoever from the media, voted, and we got percentages, so that's why we ended up just doing all performance of the night bonuses. So you were heard tonight before, there's 3 of us that decide who's going to get them, and tonight everybody got to pick.
And Julia Villa got a big win. After she herself said a lot of fights falling out, a lot of stuff going on in the world. She posted a photo of you two talking after her fight. What did you say to Julia?
Yeah, incredible fight. She had an incredible performance. She looked good. And what I told her was, I said, listen, if you feel good, if you feel okay, and, adrenaline's still pumping, go home tonight, sleep, whatever, let's turn you right around and fight again. I love when kids look like that and turn right around. Her, Sugar Sean O'Malley, I mean, these kids that are on fire and have records like that, just keep them fighting.
And then one final one. I'm sure you heard about the incident in San Antonio. Someone shot.
How
shot
fucking
up
crazy is that shit? This world is just fucking bananas right now. Agapova too. I think she should turn around and fight again too.
Well, the person that shot up that bar said, "Don't you know who I am? I'm a UFC fighter," but they haven't caught the guy or said his name. So as the president of a company, what goes through your head when you hear that?
Well, if you don't think that I heard about that one at 7 a.m. this morning, you know what I mean? I hope it's not true. But I hear that shit all the time. You know how many fucking bald guys in this town walk around and say they're me? It's mind-boggling, you guys. If I told you some of these stories, you wouldn't believe it. It's just crazy. So I'm hoping that that's the case.
One final one. Since you've announced Fight Island, how many fighters have reached out trying to get on a Fight Island card?
Well, we already have the Fight Island cards filled, so. But yeah, everybody digs it. Everybody wants to be a part of it, and for us too, for me and my staff, it's going to be a fun, unique. The safety zone. There's a 10-mile radius where it's just us. Nobody else in hotels, the restaurants, or any of that stuff. It's just us. So it's going to be fun. All the fighters have their own private training facilities, and it's going to be badass. It's going to be a different experience. Even veterans who've been in this sport for a long time and done a lot of cool shit, this is going to be completely different than anything they've ever done.
Hey, Dana. Obviously, President Trump is talking about having rallies again, stuff like that, which begs up the question, when can you get fans back into the building? What do you need to see before you start thinking about going into arenas?
I think it's going to depend on, this whole thing is state by state or country by country. I know that there's a couple of states right now looking to open up to fans, and we're talking to them.
Would you consider doing a thing where you have fans socially distanced, or would you rather just, if you're going to do it, wait until you can do it fully?
Yeah, I won't do that. I won't do a 50% arena. I'll just stay here. It makes more sense just to stay here.
In New Zealand yesterday, they had their first sporting event, rugby, with fans. Could you potentially have Israel Adesanya fight Paulo Costa in New Zealand?
Was it a full arena? Yeah. Well, what's good is let them do that for a while and see how it goes and see what happens with, depending on which network you listen to, who the hell knows what's going on. So at least if some of these guys in these other countries who were hit before we were, so they're coming out of it before we are, and they can see how this thing plays out, and then we'll go from there.
Dana, to follow up on something you said, what do guys get away with pretending they're you?
A lot of shit. A lot of shit. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Real quick with Maria Agapova, we heard that she was sick following her victory. It was a quick one, so can you tell us what's the status of her?
No, she said she's sick. Huh?
So just a little winded after the fight?
Yeah, I didn't hear. Yeah.
Dana, you've talked a lot about how other sports leagues have already called you and how you socially distance and all your protocols. And I know you didn't say which ones, but what have they? Can you tell us what they've asked for and how well you guys have done making all of this safe in terms of every? And do you think it's progressing each time you do this?
Well, we gave them the 30-page document that we gave to Florida and Nevada. We gave them the protocol that we used to reopen the offices here. And yeah, I think this thing does get better every time we do it. It's getting more comfortable too. But I'm sure it is for you guys too. And I don't know how long this is going to go on, but if I got to get that Q-tip stuck down my throat one more time, I'm so fucking sick of that. I'm really getting tired of it. I want to go back to the nose, if we can go back to the nose. But it's I don't know how long this is going to go on, but it's getting old.
One more. Mirab called out Sean O'Malley after his big win. Do you have any?
Who did?
Mirab after he won.
Okay.
He broke his own record for takedowns in a fight at bantamweight. He wants to fight Sean O'Malley. This is now another fighter calling him out. So do you have any plans for Sean O'Malley right now?
Yeah, like I was saying, for these kids that are young and come out of these fights quick, I like to turn them around quick and keep them busy. If you look at, the Conor McGregors, the Ronda Rouseys, and many others that fought a lot and stayed in front of everybody, especially right now where there's so many, there's not much going on. So many people are watching. Like, this is everybody's time to shine. The sport is at a whole nother level right now. You know what I mean? When we first started on ESPN, if you looked at the ESPN totem pole, right? You had, NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, these guys, right? And we were like one notch above cornhole, okay? Now we sit in a much better place on the ESPN totem pole than we did, when we signed this deal a year and a half ago. And, which, by the way, Cornhole almost outrated Top Rank the other night for their live fights. So congratulations to Top Rank. Bob Arum, just give him a shout out. Good job, Bob. You're fucking brilliant, you dickhead. Any other questions? Have a good night.
I swear to God, I didn't know there was.